Greetings, YouTube. My name is Inquisitor Ozone Novalip, and welcome to my channel. Today is Tuesday, December 6th, 2022, 12:24 a.m. I figured I would give an update video. I usually don't do these while I'm in the middle of Let's Playing, or while I'm in the middle of Let's Playing a certain list or stack of games. Not that I don't want to. I always kind of wanted to, but I usually don't give updates. Like when I start Let's Playing, I don't give updates saying, "All right, I've cleared 5 games so far. All right, I've cleared 10 games so far." I always kind of wanted to do it, but with me, when I Let's Play games, since I'm playing them for the first time, because I'm a collector, and most of the games I Let's Play, I'm playing them for the first time. So a lot of Let's Plays I end up deciding to to give up on. So I try not to get too ahead of myself and make update videos about my status and stuff like that. But yes, since I've came back to start Let's Playing again, I think it's been about 2 months so far since I came back, and like an idiot, I totally forgot about the Wii, because now that I've come back to Let's Play, or to do more Let's Playing, I'm resuming, resuming my project that I started with me trying to Let's Play as many flight games, if not all of them. But spoiler alert, I'm not gonna be able to do all of them. From the 6th and 7th gen. And let me just I'll say this much. The games I'll be doing, or Let's Playing, will be air-to-air Let's Plays. Sorry, air-to-air combat games. Maybe even some air-to-air, or some sort of airborne adventure games. Anything that takes place in a a air vehicle, as long as it isn't wrestling. As long as it isn't racing, I'll attempt it. But like I said recently, because when I first decided to do vehicle games, I was only thinking about the mainly just the PS2 and the 360. I'd totally forgotten about the Wii and the PS3. So I spent the last few weeks and months buying all the Wii flight games and Wii vehicle games I could find. As long as they're not wrestling games. As long as they're not racing games. And yeah, my list was at like 30 or whatever before, but with all these games now, I think it might be at 80 something. But yeah, as for the games that I'll be doing, Transformers, well, anything that's air-to-air combat, anything that's vehicle combat, like Spy Hunter or Metal Saga, not Metal Saga, Twisted Metal, and even stuff. It doesn't have to be vehicle combat. Like I also have the Driver games on my list. Driver, and they're not really vehicle combat, but you do a lot of like evasive driving, trying to escape this person or that person, or chasing this person or chasing that person. Any kind of vehicle action game. So yeah, airplane games, um, ground, or vehicle combat games. Anything that takes place on the sea, whether it's subnautical, submarine games, or whether it's plane based. Yeah, I'll cover the land, air, and sea. And before I get started, oh sorry, the reason I made this video is because I wanted to just give you guys a list of the games that I'm going to be attempting to let's play, and a list of the games I've already let's played so far, which isn't many, and also a list of the games that I decided not to let's play. So let's start with those, the ones that I decided not to let's play and the ones that I couldn't let's play. Let's start with the ones I couldn't. Gunmetal for the original Xbox. Hang on a second. Let's see here. Need something to write on. Gunmetal for the original Xbox. I purchased that game, but it's not compatible with my 360. And about a year ago, I traded in my original Xbox. It just taking up too much space, and it was getting kind of old anyway. So, Jaeger. I actually just bought. I just received Jaeger, Gunmetal, and Wings of War in the mail. Wings of War is an air-to-air combat game. Jaeger is like a sci-fi game. You play as a jet, and it's kind of like a spaceship, but it's whatever. But that game isn't compatible on my 360 either. I didn't realize that. I thought it was, but so I can't do those. I have Bloodwake coming in the mail too, but I heard somewhere that Bloodwake isn't compatible with the 360 either. So the four I just named, I cannot let's play them because they're unplayable on my 360. Now I also received Crimson Skies in the mail. That one is compatible on my 360. A long time ago, when I decided to because I decided a while ago to do let's plays for the for vehicle games, and I got kind of frustrated. I was just I was only frustrated because I had a bunch of games that I considered hard, or games that I knew would give me trouble, and I wanted to do those first before doing the easy stuff. I didn't want to do only the easy stuff and not the stuff that wouldn't challenge me, or the stuff not that I wanted to challenge, but I didn't want to do anything that I thought was hard. I mean, well, I did, but I wanted to do those first. So the last time when I first decided to do, like after I made my list, of games, and I decided to start let's playing them, those games just stressed me out. And those would be Ace Combat 4, which I did manage to complete, and I saved the completed video, but I freaking deleted it one time. I got frustrated and I deleted it. Ace Combat Belkin was a game that frustrated me. I couldn't beat that. I couldn't beat like the third mission or something like that. I tried it like 20 times. Ace Combat 5. Lethal Skies Part 1. And that game I gave up on because it was just hard. It was just too hard, and I didn't. Another thing I don't do when I let's play, I don't like to spend a lot of time on games. So for some reason I was in a rush, like I always do. Not really in a rush as in playing it, but just in a rush, just a mindset thing. I'm like, I want to get this over with. Let me get it over with. Let me go to the next game. Let me go to the next one. You know, being in a rush like that. Uh, as well as Lethal Skies 2, I attempted that game as well. And that one was too hard. And also Dropship United Peace Front. That was another one that I just United Peace Force, I believe, that I gave up on. It's too hard. Air Force Delta Storm for the original Xbox. That one is compatible for my 360, and that's what I believe. That's what I believe when I tried to Let's Play it. It was on 360. But it was on 360. But that game was just a little too annoying and a little too hard. Not too hard, but like a lot of these games that I'm naming, I can figure them out, but I don't really have time to sit there and just learn these games and play them recreationally, and also try to have play other games. Let's play other games. I don't have. There's no much time in the day, so I could figure some of these games out if I really just sat down and tried. But I don't really want to sit down and just regular play. Ever since I started Let's Playing, I've always like usually when I Let's Play, that's the only gaming time I'm getting in. Uh, so Air Force Delta Storm, its sequel, Air Force Delta Strike for the PS2. That game was also too hard. And that was it. I gave up. I was like, after those failures, I was like, look, I'm done. Let me save the rest of this list, the rest of this list for later on. So I didn't get rid of my list back then. That was like a year ago or two. I just put it on hold and whatever. So since I've came back to Let's Play, the games I given up on since coming back are, let's see, Battle Engine Aquila. I gave up on that game as well. And this is like 2 or 3 months ago when I just came back to start Let's Playing flight games or vehicle games, whatever. Battle Engine Aquila. Hang on a second. Oh, I also gave up on I gave up on Star Trek Conquest. No, sorry, Star Trek Encounters. Got a little annoying. It got pretty annoying. So I gave up on that after a few levels. I'm kind of afraid to even do Defender. I have a feeling that it's going to be annoying. So I gave up on that game as well. And Okay. All right. So that's 12 games. Five that I gave up on. Oh, sorry. Five that are unplayable. 12 that I started and gave up on. Now let's go through the games that are on my list that I think I may have a chance with. And I want to start with the download, download. I can't even talk. Downloadable games first. I'm not going to do this game right here. This one. I will do Aqua. So that's one. In both of these games, Assault Heroes 1 and 2. So that's 2, 3. Yeah, because the list of games I gave you guys, that was just, that was just a list of games that I'm not going to do, that I've given up on. This is the list of games that I haven't attempted yet, and some that I've already completed. So, even though I've given up on a lot of Let's Plays, the thing about me is I have so many games that like I could give up on at least 20 Let's Plays or whatever, and still have like 100, well, like at least 100 or so Let's Plays that I can do. Dogfight. It's a plain game. It also has DLC. I purchased both of those. Why did I do that? Hang on a second. I purchased both pieces of DLC, and I will be attempting to Let's Play both of them as well. Let's go back real quick. Let's go back. Come on already. Excuse me while I take a bit of candy. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so there's Dogfight. Takes forever to load. Screw it. I'll get back to it. I really want to do this game right here, but I don't think I will. This game as well. Renegade Op. I can't talk. Renegade Ops. And that game also has DLC. I think it only has 1 or 2 story DLCs. The rest are just DLCs for extra characters. And I purchased those as well. Thunderwolves. I do this game as well. Top Gun Heartlock. I don't have the digital version, but I do have the physical version. So we can add that to the list. And that's about it for digital games. There's one on PS3. I forgot the name of it, but I'll do that one as well. So we're at 8 games so far. All right. Let's go through my list here. Damage Inc. And these are all games that you can that are on my list and that you can probably expect to see on my channel one day. Iron Man 1 and 2. Heroes Over Europe. It's another one. Hawks, HAWX, and Hawks 2. Air Conflicts Secret Wars and Air Conflicts Vietnam. So that's 1, 2. So we're down to 17 games so far. What's this right here? JASF, Jane's Advance Strike Fighters. IL-2 Sturmovik. Over G Fighters. That's another one. Birds of Steel. Battle Stations Midway and Pacific. Sorry. Blazing Angels 1 and 2. Ace Combat 6 and Project Silpheed or Slip Feed or Slip Head, whatever. Whatever it's called. Okay, and that's it for my 360. Oh no, it isn't. Sorry. There are a few more games that I want to do, or sorry, that I want to name, and that is Star Trek Legacy. As I always wanted that game, I finally got it. My Sims Sky Heroes. These are games I just got in the mail. Superman Returns. Yeah, I meant to mention that right there. I want to include the Superman games in my air-to-air combat games or flight games, whatever you want to call flight sim, flight combat games, whatever. I'm just gonna add those in. I want to add them in because look, if I'm adding an Iron Man, then why not add those in as well? Alright. And I know Superman isn't a jet or a vehicle, but still, it's a flight game. So we have Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole. I remember seeing a preview for that movie. I've never seen the movie before. Maybe I have seen the movie before. I'm not sure. And again, they're not planes or nothing like that, but they're owls. It's all air-to-air combat. You're not in a vehicle, but you know, whatever. Birds have aerial disputes, I guess. Console games for the 360. And I'm including Transformers. Alright, it's vehicle combat. Alright, yeah, they're giant mechs or robots or whatever, but they're still, I consider it vehicle combat because they turn into vehicles, they transform, into a vehicle or some sort of mobile, whatever. So I'll be doing or attempting to do Revenge of the Fallen, War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron, Dark of the Moon, and Rise of the Dark Spark. And I've already completed Transformers on PS2, the the cell shaded one. That's that's what I call it. I call it the cell shaded one because it just says Transformers. And it's probably the best Transformers game on PS2. So that's it for my console games on 360. And that is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Now, mind you, there is. I haven't found a channel yet. I'm not saying there isn't one, but I'm only responsible for what I can find. And I search YouTube. There isn't a channel that I know of that has even 10 or 20, let's just say 10 vehicle let's plays, whether they're car let's plays or naval let's plays or air to air let's plays. I think there's one out there, but I haven't seen it. And I'm already at 5, 10, 36 games. If I can clear all these games, even half of that, that'll be more vehicle combat games slash, you know, whatever you want to call it, let's plays than anyone on YouTube. And I know it doesn't matter. It's not really competition, but you know, it makes me happy a little bit, you know, because that's kind of why I started my channel. You know, at first the idea was let me just do shooters because I love shooters. And then I was like, well, I'm a collector, and I do notice I have a few games on YouTube that no one else, that I don't see anyone else's collection. I'm not saying they couldn't afford them or get the games, like Shifters. Shifters is a dirt cheap action RPG. I don't see it in anyone's collection. Oh, I didn't back then. Anyway, because I would look up collection videos, and that's how I scouted, you know, how I found new games and stuff like that. And yeah, so I gave up on that a long time ago. You know, like let's playing games that nobody had let's plays for on YouTube. And I just kind of went with the flow, just did my shooters and whatever else. But now I have a chance. I have a chance to really do something that no one else on YouTube is really doing. And I mean to knock it out the park. I mean really knock it out the park. 36. And I'm not even done. So let's see here. For the PS2, for the PS2, I have all 3 Spy Hunter games. 1, 2, 3. Superman: Shadow of Apocalypse, Reign of Fire. There's a Terminator game called Terminator 3 Redemption. The entire game, for the most part, takes place in vehicles. You know, motorcycles, pickup trucks, you know, whatever. I guess they're trying to recreate all the great action scenes from Terminator. In the Terminator movies, there's a lot of great scenes, you know, that take place on vehicles. A lot of action going on. Excuse me. I can't talk right. Rebel Raiders. Secret Weapons over Normandy. Heroes of the Pacific. Fireblade. Army Men Air Attack 2. Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Star Wars Starfighter, and Jedi Starfighter. Iron Man for the PS2. Excuse me. I know I mentioned Iron Man on 360, but the PS2 version is it's not vastly different, but from what I understand, it's different enough. Like the PS2 version is more linear and more restrictive than the 360 version. Same storyline, of course, but it's kind of different. It is. It is. It's like if you ever play Captain America on 360, from what I've heard and from what I've seen, it's different than it is on the Wii. Pretty different. Uh, yeah, as well as Iron Man on the Wii. Now, from what I can tell, Iron Man Part One on the Wii is it's about the same as Part One on PS2, but Part Two on the Wii is different and a little more restrictive than Part Two on the big boy systems, PS3 and 360. So that's why for Iron Man, I'm excited to announce that I'll be doing all 5 of those games. Part 1 and Part 2 on 360, Part 1 on PS2, there isn't a Part 2 on PS2, so that's 3, and then Part 1 and Part 2 on the Wii as well. So that should be fun. The Italian Job. It's another PS2 game. No combat, but you do a lot of like evading. It's just a chase game. You do a lot of trying to get away from people and get into certain areas while timed or whatever. Starsky and Hutch and Robotech Invasion. Oh, I missed 2 360 games. Wheelman and Driver. What's this? Driver San Francisco. And I'm just like since I've came back and I've realized there's a lot of games that I've missed. Yeah, I'm just getting into the Twisted Metal games. I probably won't like them. I know they're good games, but I don't think it'll be something that I'm going to get into. It'll be something that I just do for the Let's Plays. Although the PS1 games look pretty entertaining. So a few PS2 games I forgot to mention because I got some bad copies. So I'm waiting for the replacements. Driver Parallel Lines. I got a bad copy of that game. It still plays, but that's not the point. It's the it's the principle of the matter. So I'm buying another copy of Driver Parallel Lines. But that's on my list as well as Roadkill. So Driver, Roadkill, and Twisted Metal Black. And I thought about getting the Simpsons Hit and Run game as a vehicle game, but I don't know. I wouldn't mind Let's playing it, but it's so up there in price. I wouldn't want to spend $50 for that bad boy. Let's see here. Let's start with the PS3. For the PS3, I have Iron Sky. I'm thinking about Let's playing Skyhawk as well, but we'll see. Let's add it anyway. Iron Sky. Sky. Oh, come on now. Pens ran out of ink. There you go. Iron Sky. Come on. Iron Sky. Twisted Metal. Skyhawk. And I think that's about it for the PS3. And there's a downloadable game as well, but I've already marked that. I'll mark it again. Okay. But yeah, both drivers for PS2, Roadkill for PS2. There's also a driver game for the Wii that's different than the PS2 version. So I'll add that as well. Alright, and now it's time for the Wii games. And there's quite. Oh, sorry. Not quite yet. It's time for the GameCube games. Now, space games are something I want to do. I want to do them, but I don't want to do them. But I'm going to do them anyway because my space game Let's Play list, Space Combat is extremely short. Like I have Battlestar Galactica, but that game kicks my freaking tail on PS2. So my space game collection is pretty, not collection, but my space for games that I want to let's play that are space games, space combat. There isn't that many. But on GameCube, I have Rogue Leader, Rebel Strike, Star Fox Adventures, and Star Fox Assault. So that's 4 right there. Let's get those marked down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it for the GameCube. Now for the Wii. Hang on a second. Hang on 1 second. I'm checking my Amazon account because there's a few games I have that are on their way. I think it's eBay. Purchases. Okay. So we have Kid Adventures, Sky Captain. That's another one. Wing Island. Twin Strike. I haven't received that. I haven't received any of these games yet. I've ordered them. They're just on the way in the mail. We have Minicopter Adventure Flight. We have Planes. Sorry. I gotta scratch my back. There you go. We have Planes, Fire, and Rescue. Alright, now, hang on a second. Superman Man of Steel. That's a original Xbox game. I'm hoping it's compatible with my 360. So I marked it down anyway, just to see. Blood Wake, like I said, I'm not sure if that game will be compatible with my system or not, because I watched a YouTube video earlier today where it said that it wasn't compatible, or the guy said that. So I think the Wii has more flight games than the 360. I believe because the Wii has Blazing Angels 1 and 2. I would have purchased them, but from what I hear, they're the same. There's no difference. I can't talk. There's no difference between those games and the PS3 and 360 games, aside from graphics. So I also have Rodea the Sky Soldier on my list. That's a Wii game. World War II Aces. Hawks 2. And from what I've heard, it's different than it's a lot different than the console game. It's actually on rails, so that should be fun. And I don't mind doing on rails games either. Oh wait, as a matter of fact, I meant to say, I meant to mention I'll be doing Panzer Dragoon as well, and thank God it's it's on Xbox Live because I wouldn't want to try tracking down a copy of that game and seeing how much it costs. I'm sure it costs a lot, but here on Xbox Live it costs $10, so I'll pick that up. And yeah, if I had more on Rails games, I'd add those as well. Because I guess on Rails games aren't really vehicle games unless it's specifically specified. But I kind of consider them as vehicle games. Oh shoot! Hang on a second. All right. What else do we have here? Transformers, Cybertron Adventures. Different. It's different from the Transformers on the PS3 and 360. And there's a Transformers game called Prime. Transformers Prime, based off the cartoon series. That's on my list as well. Emergency. Let me talk right. Emergency Mayhem, and Emergency Heroes. Those are vehicle games. What else do you have here? Sky Crawlers, Hyper Fighters, hang on one second. Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen. If you can tell, it's different than the PS3 and 360 versions. And that's about it. And yeah, this may be, if I can knock off even half of this list, and as long as I steer clear of the games that I consider too hard or complicated, not steer clear, but once I've gotten those out the way and decided if it's possible for me to let's play those or not, I want to have a lot of games, and I think this may be one of my biggest accomplishments, even bigger than my original goal, which was to have the most shooters available on Let's Play It on YouTube, which probably wouldn't happen anyway. I mean, there's so many channels that have so many shooters, and there's nothing really. I love shooters, but there's nothing that really stands out. If you go to someone's channel and you see flight sim after flight sim after flight sim, after like 5 or 6, it kind of stands out. Especially if that person has like 20 or 30 flight games or what do you call it? What do you call it? Vehicle games. Let's Play. It kind of stands out a little bit, I think. So let's go over this list. 5, 10, 15. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85. Wow. 85 games. That's my list of vehicle games. And if we're being realistic, maybe I'll only clear about I'd clear at least 50. If I can do 50 and only have to cancel 30, that's more than anyone. If I could do even if I did only 20, for now that'd be more vehicle let's plays. You know, land, air, and sea, whatever you want to call it, than anyone on YouTube. It would, for the time being, unless someone wanted to unless someone wanted to unless someone wanted to for some reason uh try to top what I'm doing, which is fine by me, because I love the shooter genre, and to me, um to me these games are just shooters anyway. You know, air-to-air combat games, air-to-air combat games, they're just overcomplicated shooters. Just shooters of a different, I don't know, feather or something. And yeah, and it also gives me a chance to have my channel kind of stand out a little more. Because like I said, that was my original goal anyway, to do the games no one had done before. And if you're gonna make YouTube videos or let's plays, try to be as original as possible. Try to do something that not many other people are doing. So now, as far as games that I've already completed, let's talk about that. I finished Heat Seeker months ago. I finished Transformers, the cell shaded one, as I like to call it. I finished Snoopy versus the Red Bandit. So that's 3. I also finished Spy Hunter 1 and 2. That's 4 and 5. And I didn't finish Sub Rebellion, but I've completed all of the levels except for the very last level. I made a video explaining all that right there. One thing I've decided to try and do, not for all of them, maybe just for 1 or 2. Because as I'm let's play in the game, sometimes I give information about the game, and sometimes I give commentary. And I figure, with Sub Rebellion, I have 21 videos there. I don't want to delete these videos, all this progress I've made, especially since there's only one let's play for it on YouTube. I wouldn't mind having the second let's play. I mean, if you guys want to see the real ending or someone beat the game, watch the other guy's channel. But I've given some pretty decent commentary and some pretty decent information about the game. I gave some pretty lengthy commentary for like the first 5 or 6 or 7 levels. Yeah. So I've attempted to beat the boss twice while on camera. Couldn't do it. Explain why I couldn't do it, or why I was having trouble with it, and I don't care. Like I'm at the very end. So at least you have those 20 videos. Plus, I've given some pretty valuable information or good information about the game in case anyone wanted to consider playing it or giving it a shot or whatever. Yeah, like Sub Rebellion is a game that I've always kind of dreaded playing because I've had it for so long, and I've dreaded playing it because I was like, and maybe it's either going to be fun or it's going to be fun, but it's going to demand a lot of time. And this game demands a lot of time, even though the controls are simple. It demands a lot of time. Like the controls are pretty simple, but the way the game wants you to use those controls, like L1 is to move forward, L2 is to move backwards, R1 is to to change your depths, from low. There's three of them. Low, very low, like to the seabed, and then there's breaking the surface and being water level. Simple controls, but using those controls to dodge enemies and to dodge torpedoes and stuff like that. That game asks a lot out of you. So it was an accomplishment for me even to beat the first 10 levels, let alone 20. So, and I didn't give commentary on all of them. I thought about coming back to that game and giving commentary on some levels because when I first tried to let's play that game, I gave up after like level 7. I was like, screw it, I gave up. But then I came back to it like the next day, and I beat the level that I was stuck on. So I started recording from level 7, and I managed to get all the way to level 20. For those videos, I didn't offer any commentary. Once I got to mission 20 and 21, I was like, okay, well, I can't beat the boss. So I was thinking like, man, like, should I give up or what? And then I was like, no, I know what I'll do. I'll just keep it because I know I can go back and beat the other levels. I know that right there. And I'm not trying to be a perfectionist, and I can't spend forever on this right here. This special project that I'm doing. So let me just give as much information about the game as possible. I mean, it's the only submarine game from the 6th gen that I know of, especially on the PS2. And I was like, you know what? Let me just give some information on it and just talk about it and record myself trying to beat the boss 2 or 3 times, and that's what I did. And that was it. And I was like, okay, well, since I've completed missions 9 or whatever up to 20 and then stuck on 21, I would go ahead and replay the first 7 or 8 missions. And for those first 7 or 8 missions, I gave my commentary. I gave some tips. I explained the weapons and the special equipment systems and how the armor works and stuff like that, or at least how I understood it. And that was enough. So that's a pretty good let's play. It's pretty good. It has a lot of information in there, useful information, and yeah. Spy Hunter. Oh boy. That's a game that I've tried multiple times. I've even had all 3 multiple times. And yeah, years ago when I first decided to when I made my list of vehicle games to let's play, and I was ready to start recording, those games gave me crap. I mean, good grief. Good grief. So I gave up on them. I traded them in, but since I came back to start let's playing again vehicle games, because when I gave up I was like, alright, when I come back it's going to be for vehicle let's plays. I don't give it takes all year. So I already knew I was coming back to vehicle let's plays, and I came back and I was like, you know what, let me buy them again. And I did something that I never do. I played the game almost all the way through first. Then I replayed it and uh, recorded it like that. I never do that right there because I don't want to. It takes too much time. I'd rather just get it over with. So completing parts 1 and 2 was a major accomplishment for me. And wouldn't you know it, when I got to part 3, or Nowhere to Run, which is what it's called, the third one, the copy that I received in the mail didn't work so well. It didn't work at all actually. I popped it was clean. It was really clean. But when I pop it in, my PS2 wouldn't play it. And so I had to buy another copy. I just got that copy in the mail. So I'm happy to announce I'll be able to complete the trilogy as long as I can complete that game right there. Um, so yeah, clearing Spy Hunters 1 and 2 were some of the most frustrating moments in my gaming life. Those and Sub Rebellion. It's been kind of a rocky road with me with Let's Play, and that's because I always put the hard games, or games that I think are going to give me a lot of trouble. I always do those first. I always try to do those first. Once I get through those, then I like to just be I like to just be hopeful and just looking at just expect good things after that. Try to stay positive. And I'm like, all right, let me just get through these right here. Because I thought the hard games were, all the Ace Combat games and the Lethal Skies and the Air Force Deltas, which they were. And since I'm not doing those, I have another set of games, Sub Rebellion and Spy Hunter 1, 2, and 3, and they gave me some crap. Spy Hunter 1 took me like a week or so to Let's Play. Probably like a week and a half. And Spy Hunter 2 took a week as well. I think I completed that in a shorter time than Spy Hunter 1, but it was way more stressful. But I did it. So and recently I decided to come back. I was feeling inspired for a second. I was like, you know what? Let me come back and try Naval Assault, which is a game that gave me trouble since the moment that I first bought it. And I played like the first level, prologue, and the second level when I first bought it like years ago, and gave up on it. But I was like, let me hang on to it anyway because it's unique. It's the only one of its kind on 360. So I was like, okay, let me not get rid of it. Let me keep it. I think I'm even going to buy the digital version as well. Even though I don't plan on playing it, it's just going to be kind of a trophy game. But I recently came back to this game, and I've made it farther than I've ever made it before. And this is while recording. I've only cleared like 8 or 9 levels, and now I'm stuck. Cause I was thinking like, man, like if I can finish this game, then maybe I'll do you guys a favor and give you 2 Let's Plays early. I would give you this Let's Play right here, which is the only submarine game from this generation, unless there's something on PC or something like that. And I was going to also upload Sub Rebellion, which is the only submarine game from its generation. But I may have to cancel those plans. That's only like I'll only upload those 2 early, or give you those 2 for free, or not for free, but early, if I can complete Sub Rebellion, or sorry, if I can complete Naval Assault. Even if I can only get if I could get to like the very last level or the next to last level, I'll just play that right there and upload it like that. Cause this game is just freaking hard. It's really unnecessarily hard and challenging. But I guess you guys can't get Sub Rebellion. Not until I, not until I finish some more games on my list. I thought about doing seasons as well. Like what I thought about doing was like maybe releasing when I complete these games, maybe release them in seasons. So I'll have like a air to air let's plays. I'll upload all those, or maybe I'll have like a vehicle, land uh, let's plays, like vehicle combat stuff, like Spy Hunter or Twisted Metal, stuff like that. I was thinking about just uploading those, right, and then uploading the air-to-air combat games, or air-to-air adventure games separately. But no, that's okay. I was going to record as much as I can, like a freaking madman, and just. I think if I ever get to 20, well, I think I can get to 20. But if I ever do, maybe I'll release it like that. Maybe I'll just upload 20 and keep going. But we'll see. We will see. I have hard drives and I got the time, so we just got to see. And I'm planning on buying another laptop, just a notebook, something that I want to use just for uploading. That'd be about it. Probably like $100 notebook or something, and just plug it into my internet connection. Have a nice little line in, and just upload like that when I'm ready to upload. Yeah. Anyway, you guys, it's been a long video. Take care. Be safe. This is Quizzer Eyes on the Noble Up signing out. And, well, a few more things. I'm hoping once I get through these, or finish with these games on my list that are annoying and just hard to get through, I'm hoping that things go well. Like the things go fast, because like when I was doing shooters, I can knock out a shooter in like 2 or 3 days, or sometimes a day. I'm hoping some of these games are like that as well. They probably won't be, but I'm going to play every single game with easy. So I'm hoping there's times where I can just knock them out like one a day, or one every 2 days, and I want to say around. I don't want to give myself a time frame, but I kind of have to. I think around like April or March, I expect to be finished. As long as I don't run into anything else, like Spy Hunter, Sub Rebellion, or Naval Assault. I think as long as I don't, I can't talk. As long as I don't run into anything like those games, I'm expecting progress to just be just steady, and just steadily progressing through games, steadily clearing games, and so hopefully by April I'll have at least 50 of these games, if not more, let's played. So until next time, you guys, take care, be safe. I guess I'll give a shout out to TT Burger on YouTube. I don't know the guy personally or nothing like that, but he's giving me some good information about Spy Hunter. He's the only YouTuber that actually reviewed, from what I can tell. He reviewed all. He's one of the only YouTubers that's reviewed all the Spy Hunter games. And I like that right there, because when I'm doing Let's Plays, I like to get research on the games I'm doing and stuff like that. But yeah, guys, take care, be safe, and I'll see you back in video game land, I guess, whatever you want to call it, the metaverse, whatever.